Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. HarlequinCoHO here, and I have a nice little 2 versus 2 game for you tonight. Just trying to break up the tournament by trying to squeeze in some regularly scheduled programming whenever I can. And since the tournament's focusing so much on 1 versus 1, I thought some team games would kind of lighten the mood a little bit here. So, much like before, I haven't actually seen this replay ahead of time. This is a cold cast, and just kind of work through it, but I do know a lot of the players, and I have seen them before on this channel. So, this is going to be a 2 versus 2 game on the map Rails and Metal. And just a little fun World War II history fact for you. Rails and Metal is actually a small town on the northern side of France. No, I'm just kidding. It's a train depot or something. Nothing too fancy there. So anyhow, let's go ahead and get this replay started. So in the upper left-hand corner, you will see Badfellah. I don't know anything about Badfellah, but I do know that he keeps good company because his ally is GiannisDef. Giannis is also known as GiannisGR, who is an armor commander who's highly ranked in like 3v3 and 2v2 and 4v4. So I've definitely had him on my channel before. Clearly, he is playing as a defense alternate commander here today. Just a quick overview of his abilities, but we'll get to that later. And on the opposite side of the map, what really attracted me to this replay is Camelfeetx. Now, Camelfeetx is currently a rank 2 on the airborne ladder, but he has been rank 1 before. And really good player. However, he also is MannerheimX, who is rank 2 on the defense ladder. And he is most known for all of his wonderfully abusive pile spamming strats. So that was cool. I got a chance here. We get a chance here to see him as ally. So to his right, his ally is going to be Raptor, who I can only assume is Raptor, the #1 defense commander. So I think the two of them just kind of swapped on over to play as allies for today. And check this out. Both players opening up with elite engineers. If you're not familiar with these guys, by the way, two of them have Browning automatic rifles. They can throw hand grenades, elite armor. Super awesome. So let me just try and get a feel for what's going on here. We've got Burger's Panzer Pioneers coming out here for Badfellah. Looks like just kind of some standard capping. And I'm going to go ahead and just look at the mini-map here. You can see a Jeep all the way moving across the map right now, and no one's actually grabbing the center position. I want to see that there. It looks like that may have been skipped kind of by accident. Nah, he's getting to it eventually. We do have a heavy machine gun team coming out here for Badfellah, and let's see. Nothing quite yet for Giannis. He's got a single Volksgrenadier squad. You can see his Volks are beefed up a little bit. 24% health, 9% accuracy, 30% reinforcement cost, and 30% ability reduction. So he's potentially got some good-looking Volk spamming going on there. Meanwhile, we do have a skilled Jeep and these elite engineers right now. That is a pretty good combo early game here. These guys can probably lay a lot of hurt down. So I'm just kind of curious to see how well that's going to work out. But anyhow, bargain Volksgrenadiers for GiannisDef now moving out. I'm surprised that he got those second, but you know, they're cheap. Why not? And check out this Jeep micro here. That's kind of cool. It's almost like he's trying to pin them in there or something. I don't know if that was just bad pathing or if he was trying to be really aggressive and shove them around. The Jeep can actually kind of bump people around and prevent them from firing sometimes. It's kind of cool. Anyhow, I'm going to try and capture all of the action. But like I said, I haven't seen this replay before, so I apologize if I miss out on all sorts of stuff that you guys want to see. So anyhow, 15% increased damage for the machine gun teams. That was the weapon, the army item that I saw for Badfellah just there. Meanwhile, Rifleman out for Camelfeetx, 9% accuracy, 6% received damage, and 30% increased sight range. So just kind of firing away here. You can see that the heavy machine gun team finally has relocated to this weird little basement window and has a good line of sight now. And picking off the last one of those retreating men. So looks like that machine gun. This is a great building if you want to maintain control over this area. Is doing pretty well. Meanwhile, we do have this silly skilled Jeep here is still just kind of crashing around, bumping into these guys. Looks like a damaged engine. He'll probably be able to get out of there. In the meanwhile, I do hear the Browning automatic rifle fire coming out of this house. So you can tell that these engineers are still just kind of chilling out in there. So trying to get a feel for what their overall strategy is. It looks like that they both just have barracks for the time being. I see a lot of rifles. Looks like repairing skilled Jeep and rifles. So nothing too crazy just yet. Meanwhile, just kind of capping away on the north and capping away right here. We do have the Fatherland HMG team, and just GiannisDef has just got a lot of Volksgrenadiers out there. Burger's Panzer Pioneers keeping it real, and let's see. It looks like they were able to chase those guys away. I believe those were the bargain Volksgrenadiers. Bargain Volksgrenadiers, by the way, a lot cheaper, and they have more hit points, so they're just straight up really good Volksgrenadiers. So accomplished Volksgrenadiers also out for GiannisDef. And we'll just see where this is going, by the way. So while I have the chance, let's take a look here. You can see it looks like Camelfeetx has airdrop smoke, air reconnaissance, AT support, supply drops, and strafing run. And let's take a look at Raptor while I have the time here. Raptor has got forward barracks, heroic charge, camouflage, ranger reinforcements, and artillery strike. So now this is a very difficult position to be in. They have lost control over the middle, as you can see here, and just kind of it can be very, very tough to kind of push through there, especially if your opponent is able to take control of some of these buildings. Luckily, they still have this point, but I don't think that's a real capture of that point. And check out, we have a little bit of construction going on up here. Badfellah has decided to just kind of cordon this whole area off with barbed wire. Not a bad idea if nobody's attacking your side of the map, just to fix it all like that. Looks like we got a single bunker up here by Giannis Def. And continual fighting just kind of on all sides here. So it looks like Raptor is now moving around on the right-hand side. He's got skilled riflemen and 2 squads of regular riflemen. And, ooh, look at that. It looks like a single survivor here from his combat engineers, or his elite combat engineers are now getting out of there. A little bit of a crossfire going on here. Let me see if I can rotate and get this stupid tree out of the way. I don't know if that looks better or worse, but I kind of like it. Anyhow, disorienting. So, machine gun team now currently opening fire. We got a bunch of riflemen here that are just kind of firing back and forth here. Pretty much everybody's in cover, but I don't really see anything in particular going on here that's going to go right for either of them. Oh, and they lose their cover, at least part of it, due to a single bazooka. Sorry, Panzerschreck shot from good old Panzerschreck Johann up there. Always wanted to destroy cover. Taking some more shots in them. That's definitely not looking good for them. They should not be sitting there. The only way that an attack like this usually works is if you have some sort of clever way to kind of flank around, but that's a head-on attack against a machine gun squad, so nothing too awesome there. We do have a single medic station up, though. That could prove useful later game, but we'll see what's going on. Meanwhile, just kind of continual backcapping going on all sides. Right now, we do have the elite engineers and some more riflemen moving out here by Camelfeetx. And just plain old Volksgrenadiers by Badfellah. Oddly enough, Badfellah has not a single army item that affects those Volksgrenadiers, which is kind of odd. So, let's take a look out here and see what we got in the middle here. So, Fatherland HMG team kind of laying the hurt down. And I do like all of this positioning here with all of Giannis Def's Volksgrenadiers there. Oh, a little bit of smoke here right now, kind of obscuring the vision of that heavy machine gun team and completely taking it out, throwing a hand grenade in there just for good measure. That was a pretty good use of smoke there. And also making sure to shoot these medics. Not too bad, but here we go. Recoup losses up for Giannis Def. That means he is definitely level 2 to use that ability right now. And just kind of moving in and realizing he doesn't like it and kind of backing out. So a little bit of indecisiveness going on here. He does not have the best cover at all. And look at this. They don't even want to shoot back anymore. They're like, nah, we'll just take out the medic instead. But meanwhile, it looks like these guys should not really be sitting here fighting this. I don't think they have nearly the advantage they think they have, especially with all this Browning automatic fire, and these guys are clearly in green cover. These guys definitely are not. So maybe he's just trying to make the use of a little bit of recoup losses, but that doesn't seem that useful. We do have some cloaked elite combat engineers here, by the way. Elite engineers. I keep calling them combat engineers like the combat pioneers. That's not correct. Doesn't matter, though. I'm really curious why Giannis Def is just hanging out here taking it in the face like that. I guess maybe he's trying to make the most use of his medic station, perhaps, but it seems like he's kind of intentionally taking casualties there. Anyhow, this is the kind of attack that I wanted to see. A nice looking flank here. You've got the skilled riflemen with the flamethrower engineers coming in and really, really forcing the issue, scaring all those guys out of there. And I bet you anything we're going to see these medics get wounded right now. Yes, medics going down. We do have the elite engineers now getting a little bit suppressed by a heavy machine gun team. But for the first time this game, it looks like the Allies might actually be able to get control over this central area here. Looks like Fatherland HMG team. I don't know quite why it's repositioning. It had a pretty good spot there. And he's pretty much just kind of turning slightly. Okay, well, that's not so bad. Meanwhile, the second machine gun team setting up, and now we have overlapping fields of fire on this whole area. That could be extremely dangerous. Looks like the first couple of bursts taking out a couple of guys. It's going to be impossible to cap that or the fuel right now. You can see now it looks like just regular Volksgrenadiers moving on out. Let me take a look at the bases here. I haven't really seen any of that yet. Massive, massive Volks out here right now. Just tons of Volks. We do have a single Krieg Barracks, Sturm Armory for Badfellah. Really nobody controls the middle at this point just because of all this massive attacking. Fatherland HMG team is totally backing up these Volksgrenadiers that are armed with the MP40s. That's looking pretty good. And, the medics are still trying their best. But honestly, the Allies have done a really good job this game of just picking off all the medics that they see out there. So it looks like we do have a supply yard finally up here for Raptor. He already got a triage center. And now it looks like just a triage center going up for Camelfeet. So Camelfeet right now, pretty much just infantry, it looks like. I'm gonna take a look at his army too here. Let's see here. Yes, nothing but infantry for Camelfeetx here. Meanwhile, on the other side of the map, let me take a look at GiannisTer, because I haven't really seen too much of him just yet, or at least haven't looked at his abilities. So GiannisTer, by the way, has got aggressive defense, contracted reinforcements for the fatherland, which is currently activated, recoup losses, and reactive artillery. So looks like he's got pretty good positioning. He's doing a great job just kind of taking control over these kind of wall zones here, but you can see the walls getting blown to pieces here. Panzerschreck Johann is still up in this building, just kind of raining down Panzerschrecks on everybody. Looks like this Fatherland HMG team is kind of paying the bills right now, and yes, definitely these skilled riflemen are going to have to get out of here. Or could that be? That is definitely Wilson's riflemen. There's Bazooka Joe, of course, in the back there. Meanwhile, we do have a little bit more aggressive defense currently activated. You can see they are in friendly territory here in the middle. So aggressive defense, recoup losses, just constant spam of the defense abilities here. This is definite kind of a Volk spammy oriented thing, but of course he does have heavy machine gun teams and stuff like that. So the Sturm Armory by Badfellah looks like it's finally spit out an accomplished Puma. I really like Hero Pumas. You know, if you guys have ever heard me talk about getting the Greyhounds and stuff, I always prefer just plain old Greyhounds because they're so much better when you upgrade them, with the possible exception of the Armored Greyhound, which comes with the armored skirts. But the Pumas, really, you almost never need anything other than Hero Pumas unless you're getting lots and lots of Pumas and vetting them. Meanwhile, we have another strong push here by Camelfeetx, but no, he's getting sniped a little bit, gonna have to get out of there, and this is Badfellah's sniper up here. So Badfellah is kind of doing the support role this game, with GiannisTer just kind of like picking up all the slack with his infantry here. You can see he has activated for the fatherland just to, wow, look at all that extra damage he's dealing right there. Will this guy get away? Oh god, it's so close. Yes, it looks like we do have a single survivor from that hero squad. Not sure which squad that was. That was probably skilled rifleman, but it could have been otherwise. Meanwhile, let's take a look around in his base and see what else is up. And finally, to complete my rounds here, since I'm kind of doing this all on the fly, let's take a look at Badfellah. Badfellah is, of course, Blitzkrieg. And it looks like he does have infantry pillage, flares, stormtroopers, rocket barrage, and manpower blitz. Interesting to see manpower blitz without a kind of late game ability like armor reinforcements or something like that. But definitely not bad. Ooh, check this out. Getting pinned by a single mine. And we do have, oh, speak of the devil, we do have a single armored Greyhound out here right now. I was just saying that this is the one hero unit that sort of makes sense sometimes because the armored skirts is really the best ability. Getting the 50 caliber machine gun is certainly icing on the cake, but if you had to choose one, definitely go for the armored skirts. So, looks like he's putting some pressure out here, but man, it is a 3-cap at this point for the Axis. The Axis doing a great job pushing them back. And remember what I said before, that Camelfeetx and Raptor are no slouches whatsoever. These guys are both like basically rank 1 on various characters on the ladder. So, serious stuff going on here. We can see it looks like Heroic Charge is currently activated here on Wilson's Rifleman. And the Rifleman now kind of pushing in kind of valiantly, trying to recap this point here. Armored Greyhound just kind of providing some defense, but just look at this overlapping machine gun fire, and we do even have an anti-tank gun back here as well. Recoup losses currently active, just as a note. Let's see here. We've got some mines going up for Badfellah, Volksgrenadiers from Badfellah capping this munitions point. So looking pretty good here. These guys are just doing, you know, good, solid control over the middle. I think what's working best is that they're working really well together as a team. That's kind of my one takeaway from this, is that I see a lot of coordinated assaults, like just the very fact that they keep kind of sharing units with each other and kind of attacking, you know, the same targets at the same time with different units. That seems to make a lot of sense. We do, however, I'm going to go ahead and swap on back to Camelfeetx right now and take a look. Looks like this is a big, huge combined assault here on the right-hand side. Wow! Is that a single landmine going off in the middle of all that? Yes, I believe so. And it looks like Camelfeetx and Raptor have a ton of troops coming through here. No! It looks like that armored Greyhound was completely wrecked by that hidden anti-tank gun. Massive infantry surge here right now. This is serious business, because it looks like he was able to stab through that machine gun, but now the machine gun has completely turned around. They are getting pinned from behind, but not before they wreck all of that. And check this out. The elite engineers here are basically tasked with taking out this machine gun in the rear, throwing a hand grenade, and now shooting it point blank with bars. Those elite engineers completely took that out. We have a lot of routing going on right now. Massive infantry attack here. Still quite a lot of healthy infantry, you know, 3-4 per squad. Not too terribly bad there. But now this Puma is definitely going to start laying into them. They're too far away and too wounded to really man this anti-tank gun or anything. And I think the Puma just kind of saved the day there, but not before doing a ton of damage to them. And check this out. These elite engineers here who killed that machine gun team also managing to decap the victory point, but not before this Fatherland HMG chain up to the north here is able to take a lot of shots at them. So they're probably going to have to get on out of there. And meanwhile, we do have a forward barracks up. I'm not sure at what point that went up, but probably pretty recently here. You can see that Raptor is busy resupplying his infantry while they're firing away here. They are getting healed by its area of effect healing. And pretty much everybody's just kind of backing up towards this. You can see here's Camelfeetx resupplying his troops. We do have an anti-tank on the field right now with armor-piercing rounds activated. I think it whiffed that first shot. There we go, taking a shot. And look at that, the armor-piercing rounds just really ripping into that Puma. One more shot and that thing could be dead. Oh, and it whiffed again.